69%. 69%. That's the percentage of Americans in a recent New York Times CBS poll that believe race relations in America are generally bad. 69%. If that doesn't like hit you right between the running lights, if that doesn't just sit on your chest cavity, I don't even know that we should probably even be communicating with each other. All right? That's the lowest or worst percentage of race relations in this country since the police officers in the Rodney King beating were acquitted and we had the LA race riots. All right? Let me tell you why, as Americans, we need to be like really, really concerned about this poll. You know, Gallup over the years since 1972 has conducted polling on trust in this country. And you've heard me, if you've been around me at all, you know how I talk about trust as an essential component to stability in our country, to our children fulfilling their dreams, to our economy, everything. It's built on a very unique level of trust that is, you won't find it anywhere else in the world. It's called bridging trust. It's the ability to bridge beyond one's in-group. And we have it here. We've built it. Our leaders have developed it over years. But Gallup started taking a poll in 1972 asking a question, do you trust your neighbor? And 1/3 of Americans in 1972 said they do not. And from that point on, there has been a gradual erosion of trust in this country that, as recently as November of last year, when Gallup asked that same question, 2/3 of Americans said they don't trust their neighbor, right? Now, with this poll of 69% saying that race relations are generally bad, almost 2/3 of Americans, that means that now the trust is forming along racial and ethnic lines. Okay? I will tell you, as a guy who conducted irregular warfare as a Green Beret in some of the nastiest places on earth and saw and worked with others doing that, those are the conditions that invite all kinds of problems in a country. Whether it's Afghanistan, whether it's Colombia, whether it's Iraq, whether it is Boston. Okay, if there is not an underlying level of trust in a society, and a society cannot trust itself, this is what agitators come in and pull the threads on. Doesn't matter if it's ISIS or a right-wing hate group or the new Black Panther Party. They all do the same thing. They look for marginalized groups with simmering tensions that they can pull the thread on at a local level and mobilize that insecurity, that fear for their own agenda. I've seen it over and over again. Our greatest antibody to that in our country, what we can hand to our children, is our resilience as a society and our diversity, which forms that resilience, a melting pot. From many come one, right? That's what we've always prided ourselves as Americans. That's been our narrative. Now, yes, we've had our problems along the way, but that has always been our narrative. Now, when you have 69% of Americans saying that race relations are generally bad, that's not our narrative anymore, right? A new narrative is being formed. In that same article, New York Times article, other countries are actually warning their citizens not to travel here because of race relations. Are you friggin' kidding me? This is supposed to be the country where people come to get away from that stuff, right? Now you have other countries giving travel warnings to their citizens to not travel here. If you are sitting idle and while this is going on and allowing this narrative to take place, I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. The question might be popping into your mind, what do you do? Well, for starters, go watch the webinar that I posted on Facebook on how you can restore trust at a local level, right? It starts with you. It starts with me. It starts with our narrative, our story. right? If we believe, if we allow others to believe in our community that race relations are generally bad, guess what? They're going to be bad. And that is not no longer an antibody to instability. It's an accelerant. It invites everything from ISIS to all kinds of other crap to come in here and pull the threads on that division. That's it. And if we think, there's no way in hell that a politician is going to restore this. Do you believe that? I sure as hell don't believe that. Have you seen a single politician that has the salt or capability to restore the kind of trust that we're talking about? This is us. This is at our level. So I'm asking you, okay, as an American, as a father, as a husband, as a friend, share this video. Share this video with your network. Talk to people in your community. Look at our narrative as Americans. Is our narrative really coming across that way as being, racially bad? Or can we get back to our narrative of a melting pot, of a diverse nation that embraces diversity and stands for one thing, which is liberty? Is that just out of vogue now? Is that just not cool? Because I know there's a lot of guys overseas right now who don't have a voice, and gals who are defending that narrative. So maybe back here we could actually stand for it. I don't know. We got to do something, guys. We got to do something. We can't allow this to happen. Not for my kids. I'm not handing it over to my kids that way. Give it some thought. Share it with your tribe. I'll see you on the high ground.